First of all, I want to thank all the fans that came out and have come out all year long and supported us. Very, very fortunate to get a big win against a really good opponent in Wisconsin. I think the story of the game is we kind of won all the things that we talk about, weekly. Drive start battle, we won that. The turnover battle, we won that, which I think was critical today. The penalty battle, very disciplined. We only had 3 penalties in the game, we won that. And then explosive play battle, we won that as well. I think we can be more explosive offensively, but I think that's the story of the game. When you're able to do those things, you're going to have a chance to be successful. A couple things that stood out. Miles Sanders surpassed 1,000 rushing yards for the season, so that was great. 14 straight winning season here. And then Robert Windsor, career high 2 sacks. He's from Wisconsin. I know he's in the locker room talking about his mom flying back to Wisconsin and how happy she is. So we're happy to get a win. We'll enjoy it for the night. Things obviously that we got to get cleaned up. There's no doubt about that. But I'm going to enjoy the win and then obviously wake up tomorrow morning and get started on our next opponent. So open up to questions.
Raise your hand, we'll get a mic to you.
James, after the way the running game has struggled in the last 2 games, can you describe the offensive line and Miles, what they've been through and how they responded today?
Yeah, obviously we felt like we had some opportunities today, in the running game, based on our plan. Some of the opportunities that we felt like presented itself based from their defensive scheme and what we try to do offensively, and we were able to take advantage of that. Obviously Miles rushing for basically 160 yards and a touchdown was great. Give our offensive line some confidence. Also help our offensive line, when we're able to beat people up on 1st and 2nd down in the running game, it will help us in protection in the long term. So obviously really, really important for us to get the running game established, and we were able to do that today.
Hey James, over to your right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this looked like the most snaps Micah Parsons has played so far in his Penn State career. What has he been doing to earn those snaps? Just what were your overall thoughts of how he played today?
Yeah, he just keeps getting better, and I think the other thing is he just continues to build trust in the coaching staff. With Micah, it's all of it. It's meetings. I'm on him all the time. And Micah, it's just all the other things. And don't take this the wrong way. I'm really proud of him. But he's growing up every single day. And Coach Pry puts a lot of emphasis on trust. On trust with the defensive players, with what we run. He's obviously very, very talented. He obviously has a lot of trust built up in Koa Farmer and the amount of time that they've been together as well. And Micah just keeps earning that every single day. More and more trust by how he's going about his business. He's been killing it academically since he's been here. But just our approach, how we do things, how we meet, how we conduct ourselves, he's just getting better every single day. So, as he continues to build trust with Coach Pry off the field in all those areas, in terms of preparing himself like a pro, and not just relying on his ability. That's what you're seeing as the season's going on. So that was part of the plan, to allow his reps to spike up. And I thought our defense and Micah played well, except for the opening drive. That's the 4th ranked rushing offense in the country, and I thought besides the opening drive, I thought we played really good.
James, how would you evaluate what Trace did today, and then he got hit and came out a little bit, just everything that he's gone through the last few weeks, the toughness that he's able to...
Yeah, he's a warrior. He really is in every sense of the word. He's productive, he's positive, he's a leader, he's determined, and obviously he's gotten banged up this year, 2nd half of the year. And he's missed some plays, but has been able to come back and still play at a pretty high level. So we're fortunate to be able to have really good leadership and really good morale and chemistry in our quarterback room. So Tommy and thank you, Sean Clifford. Are really doing a great job as well. Sean did some things on the sideline today I thought were really, really impressive as well. So we got a good group there led by Trace, but he's been a warrior for us, not just this season, but really for 4 years.
Joe?
James, for 4 games, the past 4 games, you guys have been dominated in time of possession. Today, you guys dominated the time of possession, ran 15 more offensive plays. What kind of impact did that have on your win?
Yeah, I think it was big. Obviously, that wasn't a huge part of our plan. I've been telling you guys, before. It was more about us being more efficient on third down offensively. It was more about our defense being able to get off the field on third down. It wasn't like we went into this with a different plan, but literally us just being better on third down on offense and us getting off the field on defense. That was the difference. That was the difference. To me, with the time of possession. So obviously against that opponent, that is important. Very similar to how we tried to take the ball and be able to get up by some points, hopefully early on was the plan, so we could force them out of the style that they wanted to play. We weren't able to necessarily do that offensively. We moved the ball, but we had a tendency to stall out, in a high red zone or fringe area.
Nick?
I know you were scrupulous about taking one game at a time, but now looking back, in retrospect, considering where this defense, how many plays they had defended Indiana, Ohio State, Illinois,
Yep.
and knowing the stretch you had coming up, are you at all surprised how well they stood up over these last 3 games against power football?
Yeah, I think it's a great point. It was very, very impressive. I think our defensive coaches have done a great job. I think as a coaching staff, we knew that, for us to just act like, that wasn't going to be an issue. That's why we made major changes in practice this week, so that we could cut back, not necessarily the reps, but the time that we were out there, and then invest a little bit more time in meetings, because you need to do that late in the season anyway, but magnified because of the amount of reps that our defense has gotten. So I think the other thing, back to what we just talked about, us being better on third down on both sides of the ball helped as well.
James, Miles eclipsing 1,000 yards on the season today. From week 1 to now, how have you seen him grow into his role?
Yeah, he just is very confident. His leadership has been excellent. It really has. With the O-line, with the offensive side of the ball. People may say that at times maybe he had been frustrated. You never saw that. You never saw that with his teammates. It's one of the things I'm really proud of. You never see on our sideline, guys with bad body language or demeanor, which is very, very important to us. And I think Miles is a great example of that. Would he love to rush for more yards week in and week out? No doubt about it. Are some of those things in his control, some of those things not in his control? No doubt about it. But he's been just a tremendous teammate, couldn't be more positive. So I'm proud of him. Those are the things, kind of as the head coach, that I look at, that I take a lot of pride in, is how our guys, how our players, how our coaches conduct themselves through adversity, through success, all of it. Really good. So I think he's a great example of that. He's just matured in so many areas from the young man that we went and recruited. Obviously Mom's done an unbelievable job raising him, but he's really matured as a football player, as a person, as a student. I couldn't be more proud of him.
How much do you play into the hometown recruiting and play of the game with Mr. Windsor playing with the Wisconsin background and everything into a game like this, where he plays one of his best games of the season, and for future aspects going into recruiting and everything, how does that play into the game and into the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and into practice? How much does that play into what you play into?
Yeah, Rob was our defensive captain this week, so we know this game is going to be important to him. He just got done saying in the locker room with the guys how he's 2-0 and we're 2-0 versus Wisconsin, so allows his family to go back home and wear their Penn State sweatshirt to the grocery store and things like that. Rob played extremely well, had 2
Best
sacks.
game of the season.
Rob played really well today, had 2 sacks. Did some really, really good things. So, we're excited about him. I don't know if, I lived in De Pere, Wisconsin for a year. I don't know if necessarily because of this we're going to go recruit Wisconsin heavily, but if they have some players that are interested in Penn State, we're definitely interested in that.
Time for 2 more.
James, the freshman wide receivers had another had a bigger day this week than before. Obviously, out of necessity with Juwan being out, how have they earned that, and do you expect that to continue even when Juwan's back?
I think it's a lot like you saw, like, we talked about with Micah. Jahan just continues to do really good things, continues to get better. He made some plays today. He's just very confident. He's very relaxed. Doesn't seem to get, the game doesn't seem to be too big for him. And he's been that way really since day one. So when we decided to burn his red shirt, the thing that was great about today was, we had him and KJ stacked at the slot position. And this week we gave him an opportunity to learn a new position, Z, and he learned it and played really well. So, that creates some flexibility now for us. We're always trying to recruit as many talented athletes that are also smart guys, both on and off the field, because it allows us to have some position flexibility and be able to move guys around to get the best 11 guys on the field or the best 3 receivers on the field.
James, what happened in the fumble at the end of the game there?
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to talk to Tommy about it, but obviously we had a miscommunication with the motion. As a head coach, that's the thing that you struggle with, is we have a great win, and you want to enjoy the win, but the game didn't end the way you want it to end. And as you guys know, I take great pride in how we handle situational football. The game didn't end the way we wanted it, but I haven't had a chance to talk to Tommy yet, but from what I saw, we just mistimed the motion. We just mistimed the motion there in 4-minute offense.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.